Hi there, this is Bob from CenturyAutoAir.com. Today we are going to reseal a General Motors R4 compressor. Commonly these will leak around the case seals. You'll see them leaking on the front and the back where that gap is, as well as out the shaft seal itself. Before we get started on this, I've already removed the clutch. A word on the clutches. First of all, we have a video showing how to remove a General Motors clutch, but the R4 is a little different animal in that often the threads of the hub itself are metric, and they require a metric puller to get this off. The body of these older units, and it's hard to say where the break-off point is, but the actual genuine GM R4s, most of them will use a standard thread here. Therefore, you need both a metric and a standard kit to get the clutches off. Some of the later ones that were licensed or are aftermarket may have a metric thread here as well as metric on the other. It can be kind of confusing. So let's get started. First of all, we need to pull the shell off of the compressor itself. It's lightly pressed on. There's really nothing holding it other than one safety keeper, which we just simply bend out of the way. Now it can come off. Now I have the special tool that actually pulls the shell off, but this can be easily improvised. All it really is two blocks with a little shelf etched into them. You can put this on a press with a couple plates of steel, some all thread with some nuts on it. The way the tool works is we set it on the back, and the bolts thread into the existing mount holes for the compressor. And you can see that little shelf just engages the shell itself and not the compressor. So then, take a wrench and evenly, a little at a time, side to side, we work the case off. And it really helps to do a quarter turn or so on one side than the other, because it pulls off straight. If you're in a press, then you'd be doing it evenly anyway, so it doesn't matter. And this is the #1 leak on the R4 compressors, and there's really no reason not to save these units. If you have a good quiet unit and the orifice tube is clean, and it's just leaking, with the quality of many of the new ones that are out anyway, you are probably better off doing a reseal on them. So the shell is released. And what you actually see is the reed valves themselves. And the compressor, the mechanicals are housed inside that, so there's no moving parts to disturb when you do this. It's a rather simple operation. Take a little pick, just peel the O-rings off. Nice to take a rag or a towel and clean the area, the ridge through there, as well as around the band. Sometimes there'll get a little corrosion built up, maybe a little Scotch-Brite pad or something to knock the corrosion off of that. And since we're in the teardown process right now, we'll go ahead and remove the little nose plate off the front. And you can do this in any order. I'm just doing it because we're gonna have to walk over to the press in a minute, and I just want to catch as much of this in one shot as we can. I also like to mark the front plate. Not absolutely necessary, but it's just a good habit to be into. Then work it side to side, and the front plate will come off, revealing the seal. And it's a square cut, or what they call lathe cut seal. There's also Belleville washers in here. Keep those in their original order. And the next part we will do is, there are special tools to remove GM shaft seals. However, the aftermarket ones, the tool doesn't work with, or you may just not have the tool. So the simplest way to do it is, while we have this off, we can knock the seal out from behind and not have to be concerned with having the special tool to do it. So there is a spring, snap ring inside. Generally snap ring pliers are too large to get in there, so I just use a pick to work that out. Flip it upside down, Take a screwdriver and just contact the back side of that seal. Tap it down a little each side. And there's the seal. There's also an O-ring inside. Just take a pick with a little hook on it, pull it out, and save that. On some units, this is thicker than on others, so you want to be able to match that up. I don't get real crazy with cleaning things because I don't want to disturb some of the original sludges and varnishes that hold things together, but you do want to clean out the nose cone of the compressor itself, as well as the actual areas where the seals go. So, next step will be to get our shaft seal ready and start assembling it. Okay, so we're going to start by putting our shaft seal in. We offer these on our website, part number SK741. It's a General Motors lip seal. You will notice in these kits, there's 2 width O-rings. Generally, it's the thinner O-ring, but not always. So that's why you kept your seals when you took it out. Start with a little bit of light mineral oil on it so things slide together nicely. And there is a ridge machined down into this. And we can put down in by hand. Once it's in there, you can see that it's not sticking up and out of there. Then we take the compressor itself, and I'll wrap a rag around it just so things don't get down into it. But where the seal rides, it does build up some corrosion and sludge around there. I'll take a little Scotch-Brite pad, just kind of clean the shaft up. And I'll give the new seal, which is actually a piece of Teflon that just makes contact with that shaft, and that's what seals that into there. So before we put this in, we're going to put the nose cone on, and there's a reason why, and we'll get to that in a minute. Flip this upside down. We take our square cut O-ring, or lathe cut O-ring, and I'll put a little oil on it just to help keep its little suction in there so it can't fall out. We locate our mark that we made when we took it apart. And place it down onto there. Make sure it fits nice and flush, letting us know that O-ring didn't fall out. Put our 4 bolts back into it. I am unaware of an actual torque spec for these. I would say tight. And for the sake of a quick video, I am just going to use my impact real quick and tap these tight. A lot of times at this point I'll put the case shell on, but it doesn't matter the order. We can do our shaft seal right now. Take our seal, part number SPGM for the lip seal installer tool. This is a must-have tool. You will cut this seal if you do not have it when you put this together. This is the face side that faces out when you put the seal in there. A quick tip for installing these damage-free is take that, flip it upside down, and go over the installer tool 1 time. And what I just did was run that over backwards, and it helps expand that Teflon out a little bit better. It'll make it easier to put this together. So I'm going to put a little O-ring, or oil on the O-ring in the shaft, and put a little oil on the shaft. We install our lip seal installer tool over the shaft. A little more oil. I don't skimp on oil. I want things to slide together. Now, that's the back side of the seal. That's the front side of the seal. You'll see that that Teflon dishes down inward. Now we take it, install it over that, and work it down over that shaft, and now we're going to have to actually push it down. You can use a socket or whatever you have around that's handy. Push it down, and sometimes it only goes so far. We're past the shaft now, so we can work that down. I have another little tool. And when you see the snap ring groove exposed, it's all the way down. Now we're going to install our snap ring that holds that lip seal in there. Snap rings have a bevel. One side will be totally flat. The other side, the edge, you'll see a real light rolling. On AC components, whenever you see the beveled edge, it faces outward, towards you. You can take a snap ring pliers, compress that spring to get it down in there. Generally, I can't get it all the way in with the snap ring pliers, so I'll take a socket or a little pusher tool and just gently tap it. And then we look down, and when you see that snap ring is fully seated into its groove, take a pair of screwdriver here and just make sure that snap ring is actually in, because you don't need the seal blowing out after you've done all this work. So we're ready for the case now. We take our new O-rings, and incidentally the kit number for these O-rings as well as the body seals is KT-R4N, as found on our website. It's getting lots of mineral oil, and the reason we use mineral oil is it is not as hygroscopic as other refrigeration oils. If you use PAG oil or ester oil, you're creating a situation where it's going to start drawing moisture right to your seal and the components around it, creating corrosion. So mineral oil, not only cheap, is your best protective oil to use for this. One O-ring seated in its groove. And work our other case O-ring down. Make sure it's in the groove. And then I'll really lube it up, because when we put this case together, we don't want to pinch that O-ring. So next I will take our case, wipe out the lint and any debris that might be there, and just really work a lot of mineral oil across it. So we're ready to put this together. On the back side, you'll see our witness mark where the tab went. Set the unit into there. You can see it just pops right over it. It's turned. Right location. And I will take this over to the press, and we will show you how to make the final press to get that on. Okay, so we are now going to press the remainder of this case onto the compressor. I've set plates up on my press. Once again, you can improvise and think of a better way. This is just the way I've always been doing it, as I don't have the factory tool to do this. There is actually a tool to press them on, but I don't have it. And the key to this is it takes very little pressure to do it. This press is overkill. In fact, I am just keeping a couple fingers on the jack as I push it down, and you will see the case very slowly sliding in. And when the body of the compressor contacts that plate, it's going to stop. No pressure is needed. When it contacts, stop. You will break this case. And that's it. That case is on. We'll go back to the bench and finish the job up. Our final step is just to take a hammer and lock our tab back down on. It's just a safety device. There are a couple other O-rings on this compressor. There's a high pressure relief valve that has an O-ring under it. There's also an O-ring in the switch port back there. No special instructions to do those. So as you can see, this is not a difficult compressor to do. And once again, with the quality of the compressors that are now on the market, personally, I would prefer to repair a known good unit. The catches are, you might need a standard and a metric puller to get it off. And if you like our video, we greatly appreciate you purchasing the seal kits through our website, which is centuryautoair.com. The part numbers to do this job are KT-R4N for the body seal kit, and SK741N for the shaft seal. And the installer tool, lip seal installer tool, was an SPGM. We'll also notate these on our video as well as on our website. Thank you very much.